You got freedom, no hesitation or holding back. You got freedom to live your life the way you want to live. You got freedom, time to start letting go of all your...
The Cornhusker Libertarian Brief is produced from a firmly libertarian point of view, emphasizing individual liberty, personal responsibility, and limited government. Our content is rooted in core principles such as self-ownership, the non-aggression principle, free markets, and the protection of individual and property rights. This does not aim to present a balanced or bipartisan perspective, nor will it apologize for that. We believe that a free society is built on voluntary cooperation, not coercion, and that Nebraskans deserve a clear and consistent voice for liberty. While our tone may at times be direct or irreverent, our goal is to educate, inform, and inspire engagement rooted in libertarian values. If you're looking for a conversation centered on government solutions, this may not be the brief for you. But if you believe that people, not politicians, know what's best for their lives, welcome aboard. Liberty starts with understanding. Let's begin.
Hey folks, I'm the Cornhusker Libertarian, a veteran, a dad, and a lifelong Nebraskan. I bring you another episode of the Cornhusker Libertarian Brief, where we break down issues that matter most to our state and our freedoms. Today we're diving into a tough but necessary topic, abortion. I know, this is one of those subjects where people hold strong, often emotional opinions, and it's easy to upset someone no matter what you say. But pretending it doesn't exist or avoiding it altogether, that does a disservice to everyone. So let's tackle this topic respectfully, clearly, and with Nebraska in mind. When talking about abortion, it's important that we understand the terms being used, because a lot of the arguments fall apart when we don't define what we are actually talking about. Let's start with a few key terms. Abortion. In Nebraska law, this refers to the use of any instrument, medicine, drug, or other substance to terminate a clinically diagnosable pregnancy with the knowledge that the termination will, with reasonable likelihood, cause the death of an unborn child. Gestational age. This is the age of the fetus measured from the first day of the woman's last menstrual period. A pregnancy is divided into 3 trimesters. The first trimester is from week 1 to the end of week 12. The second trimester is from week 13 till the end of week 26. And the third trimester is from week 27 to the end of the pregnancy. It is the standard used in most laws, including Nebraska. Viability. This refers to the point at which a fetus could survive outside of the womb. Nebraska law does not currently use this term as a legal threshold. The scientific gestational age for viability is generally considered to be around 23 to 24 weeks. Instead, Nebraska law sets a specific cutoff, 12 weeks gestational, or the first trimester. Medical emergencies. This refers to a situation where the mother's life is at risk or where continuing the pregnancy would result in serious physical harm. Under current Nebraska law, exceptions are allowed in such cases. Here is the current law in Nebraska. In May of 2023, the legislature passed CLB 574, a bill that bans most abortions after 12 weeks of pregnancy. There are exceptions for rape, incest, and medical emergencies. CLB 574 also includes penalties for providers who perform abortions outside of these exceptions. It doesn't punish the pregnant person, only the provider. The bill passed by a narrow margin and became law immediately after the governor signed it. There are no active bills changing this law right now in the 2025 legislative session, but it remains a hot-button issue and can resurface at any time, especially through ballot initiatives and lawsuits. So understanding these terms and the law as it stands isn't just for lawyers. It's for anyone who wants to speak clearly and confidently about this issue. If we want good policy, we need to start with honest definitions and accurate information. Let's start where the Nebraska Libertarian Party stands. The official position is simple but powerful. Government should be kept out of the matter, leaving the question to each person for their conscious consideration. Now, what does that really mean? It means we trust individuals, not politicians, not bureaucrats, to make a moral decision based on their own conscious values and circumstances. That might be the woman facing a crisis pregnancy, a couple struggling with a devastating diagnosis, or even a doctor offering compassionate care. These are deeply personal choices, and we believe it is wrong for the government to try and make them on your behalf. Conscious consideration is the opposite of a one-size-fits-all law. It's a call for individual liberty matched with personal responsibility. It says you are capable of thinking deeply. You are capable of weighing ethics, science, faith, and your life experiences. You are capable of making the right decision for yourself, not just falling into a political checkbox. Some libertarians may lean pro-life, others may lean pro-choice, but the common ground is this: we reject government force as an answer. We stand as a voluntary decisions, peaceful persuasion, and a society that honors both autonomy and empathy. Let's take a moment to separate policy from principle, because that's where a lot of confusion happens, especially in the libertarian circles. Libertarian fundamentals are clear. We believe in individual liberty, limited government, and the non-aggression principle, the idea that it is wrong to initiate force against others, to include through government law. When it comes to abortion, the principle leads different libertarians to different conclusions. Some libertarians identify as pro-life, believing that life begins at conception and the protecting the rights of the unborn is a legitimate application of the non-aggression principle. They see abortion as the taking of a life, and they advocate for reducing or eliminating it through peaceful means like education, adoption support, or science-driven persuasion, not government coercion. Others are pro-choice libertarians who argue that body autonomy is the non-negotiable part of liberty. They believe that no one, not even the state, has the right to force a person to remain pregnant against their will. To them, government bans on abortion are the unacceptable violation of personal sovereignty. Here's the key: both sides are operating from a shared libertarian values, even if they land in different places. And in the realm of public policy, the Nebraska Libertarian Party's official stance reflects that understanding. It doesn't try to enforce one moral view over another. Instead, it recognizes that some questions, like abortion, are too personal, too complex, and too morally divisive to be resolved with a blanket state mandate. In short, our policy is to protect your right to live by your principles, not to pick sides for you, but to defend your freedom to choose, believe, and act according to your conscience. If the government shouldn't be the one making abortion decisions, then what is the alternative? That's a fair question, and it's one libertarians answer with action, not control. Libertarians believe that the best solutions are voluntary, decentralized, and compassionate. That means empowering people and communities, not expanding laws and punishments. Here are a few alternatives that many libertarians advocate for. Private charities and nonprofits that offer parental care, counseling, and financial help to expectant mothers in crisis, without political strings attached. Organizations like this often do more with less than the government programs ever could. Adoption support reform, cutting the red tape and costs for families who want to adopt, while respecting the rights of birth parents. A freer, faster adoption process gives women more options and children better outcomes. Community-based mentoring, offering real support, not judgment, to people facing unexpected pregnancies. Sometimes what someone needs most is just someone who cares and listens. Access to science and education, not through mandates or bans, but through open conversation and information. Medical advances and honest dialogue can change minds more effectively than laws ever will. And here's the key: access matters. Access to healthcare, support systems, and options. Libertarian alternatives are designed to expand access through the private sector, voluntary aid, and empowering local action without expanding government control. We don't need more laws, we need more liberty, and that means supporting people, not punishing them, and creating a society where every person can choose freely and live responsibly. Abortion is one of the most personal and polarizing issues we face, but libertarians bring something unique to the table: a belief that government power should never replace individual conscience. Whether you lean pro-life or pro-choice, we can agree that freedom, compassion, and personal responsibility are better than a one-size-fits-all mandate from Lincoln. If this message resonates with you, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with someone who needs to hear a more principled, respectful voice in this conversation. And if you believe in Nebraska deserves a freer, more independent future, consider registering as a libertarian and donate to support our outreach. Every dollar helps us cut through the noise and spread the message of liberty right here in the heartland. Thanks for watching.